Legend Comp Round 2 is right around the corner, guys. You know what that means? No level 4, no tech drift, but unfortunately, no snake stream builds for me. Anyways, now we got quite a few things here. One-slot gadgets are very interesting. They're not really that strong, but when combined together, it could make something very interesting, what I like to call the compound interest builds. But before we get into the builds, we're going to get into the tier list of the best gadgets in Round 2. Now, for these gadgets, let's just start and make it all quick. Meta definers. These are going to be the gadgets you're going to be seeing pretty much on every single build, level 2, level 3 quick charge, and slipstream bounty. These three gadgets are basically going to be seen everywhere. This is core, basically. This is the new UC tech drift in a sense, except you don't have the shield, right? Solid gadgets and filler, these are gadgets that are actually going to be really solid going forward. 130 ring is really good for a lot of reasons, mainly for the fact that if you get hit, you go down to anywhere between 80 to 110 rings based on if it's a crush attack or a regular attack, which is amazing. Whisk chance up is very versatile. It's a very strong gadget. You need a laser and you're not all the way in the bottom spot, so you can't afford to go down there. It could always help get you a laser. It can get you some more wisp. It can even get you a wisp in like second, third consistently. It's super nice. Shortfuse is for people that want to be really, and I mean really chaotic. When pair this with attack bounty, and it could be very good. You could see like 40, 50, 60 rings in big clusters and get up to 100 rings super early on. Now, let's talk about some other things. What are some other gadgets? I think Ring Game Boost Mini, though it's not the best gadget, if you pair this with the meta definers, it could be really good, especially if you put it with Whisk Chance Up and maybe like, say, Dash Panel Mini. It'd be like a very small form version of Snake Stream. You have Air Trick Bounty, which I think could find some use, but it's going to be very hard to define whether it is going to have that use or not. Now, you could see a lot of Ring Thief potentially, especially because now there's not so much defense. We could see people trying to bump war with each other, and if you have more power, you not only steal the 2 rings, but you bump out 2 rings, so it could be very nice. Ring Range Up, just a really nice upgrade to get more rings, especially if you're in a power vehicle that has a bigger hitbox anyways for rings, so it's just very nice. Extended Slipstream really just is not it, in my opinion. I know a lot of people really like this gadget, but I really think this gadget is bad. I don't think it has any use, but for this round specifically, I'm going to give an exception and say that it does have some situational uses. Now, granted, I'm very harsh on the gadget, but that's because usually we're versing people that are really good front runners with level 4 tech drift, so that is where my thoughts come from. But I do think there's some situational value with this, especially if you have some close in packs, or like you want to stay away from getting hit and you want to go more to the left or right so that way you can avoid damage. It could be useful. Dark Chow Starter, going to be very situational. I assume a lot of people are actually going to be using Dark Chow Starter, so we're going to see a lot of Dark Chow wars. Now, granted, I don't know how good it's going to be for you to use it, but if you don't see anyone else using it and you want to bag, it's probably one of the best gadgets you can run for bagging setup. Whisk Starter, I can actually see some very good use for this for taking off and actually doing a lot of things. I think Whisk Starter paired with Dark Chow Starter could be very nice. I'm going to give a shout out to Knight specifically. Knight told me about the Dark Chow Starter Whisk setup. It is a very nice setup. It looks really fun and it seems like it's going to be really good, and it can be very beneficial for countering other Dark Chow starters with using Whisk Starter in the first slot and then putting Dark Chow Starter on the second row, so that way you always get the Whisk Starter first. And then finally, Boost Tuner. I think Boost Tuners are the only ones that are going to be viable, and I really just think they're only going to be viable if you use one of them, because I think if you need a filler gadget and you want to get 86 drift with an E-Gear, go Boost Tuner. Like, genuinely, other than that, I don't think any of the other gadgets are good. If you could guarantee that you're always starting in the bottom 4, then starting Bounty Boost would be nice, so you get 60 rings off rip, and then pair it with some other Ring Game Boost. It's not bad. Ring Mercy, because Ring Game Boost and Quick Recovery don't exist in this meta. Ring Mercy is just non-existent, and then everything else should be self-explanatory. Bumper Guard, Maximum Traction, everything. Everything else should be very explanatory. You might see some Attack Bounty plus Short Fuse potential. Now it's going to be seen maybe a lot more on Apados or Market Street or these narrow tracks, things of that nature. I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of arguments on this and be like, well, why don't you put this there or that there? I understand that, but from my perspective and just playing with a lot of these players that are like preparing for round 2, a lot of these gadgets really are not it. And with some of the better core gadgets that make these one slots really good or really beneficial are no longer on the table, so you have to be a little more harsh on them, like Ring Mercy, unfortunately. This is my tier list. Again, if you guys want to argue with this in the comments, go right ahead and talk to me. Say, hey, I don't agree with this because I think of this. I will give you my opinions, and if you don't agree with them, hey, it's perfectly fine. I'm trying to just have some simple conversations to see what you guys think. Now that we're done with the tier list, let's get on to some of the gadget plates. Now, there's going to be a lot of really fun gadget plates, a lot of really stupid ones, and a lot of really good ones. We're going to do some fun ones right off the bat, and we're going to be starting off with my favorite gadget plates, the Shortfuse plates. Now, Shortfuse has a lot of potential, actually, as a gadget, even if it's just a filler gadget, or when combined with Attack Bounty. So, Shortfuse itself is a very, very powerful gadget. Now, you may be wondering, what is so good about Shortfuse? Glad you asked, because we are about to get into it right now. Welcome to the classroom, guys. Professor Destello videos in, and every one of you that's watching is now my student. So let's talk about Shortfuse, right? I'm going to show off 2 clips, and I'm going to let them play out just with the music. I just want to show you how quick these charge, and then we're going to go over the numbers. Did you catch it? I sure hope you did. Now, do you think you do the math right now before I show you the numbers? Well, you got a couple seconds, so you better try and get it started. Oh, well, it's a little too late. Dr. Destello, Professor Eggman, is not having it. So, from charging to level 1 to level 2 without Shortfuse takes 4.71 seconds to charge. From a level 2 to a level 3 takes 6.31 seconds to charge, which totals out to about 11.02 seconds. This takes about 11 seconds to charge up a level 3 bomb from a level 1. Shortfuse, unbelievably, charges a level 1 to level 2 in 1.63 seconds. Not only that, from level 2 to level 3, it takes 1.99 seconds. What does this translate to? This translates to the fact that you can charge a level 3 bomb in 3.62 seconds, roughly 3.6 seconds with Shortfuse. How does this translate? Well, let's put it this way. With Shortfuse, you are able to charge from level 1 to level 2 almost 189% faster, almost 190% faster actually than without Shortfuse, and charging from a level 2 to a level 3, you were able to charge 217% faster with an overall charge time of 204.4% faster. This means you'd be able to charge literally 3 bombs back to back before you charged a single bomb without Shortfuse. If that is not crazy, I don't know what is. Anyways, class dismissed. We're going back to the gadgets. So let's go into further detail why Shortfuse is so good. So one of the main reasons why Shortfuse is really good is actually the fact that level 3 bombs are the only way you can blow through Tornado with any offensive item. I'm not even kidding on this, by the way. You have Monster Truck that can blow through it and cancel it early, but a level 3 bomb is the most consistent, easy way to destroy a Tornado if someone's trying to, like, brake check you. Just completely annihilate them for trying to Tornado brake check you. Like, you just level 3 them, boom, they're done. Now, the big thing is, the 2 differences between these plates is you get your rings from either attacking with Shortfuse and going full offensive, or you have a more consistent defensive option with Shortfuse bombs while using other methods of gaining rings. So I think both these plates are going to be really fun. As for practicality, I don't know how practical they're going to be, but I do know for a fact they will be extremely, extremely fun. I will be using both these plates at least one point or another, at least a few races. As for practicality, I don't know how practical they'll be, so I'll rank them on the lower end, more on the fun side rather than more the practical, like you're going to win with these consistently side. One last thing I forgot to mention before I go into the other builds, I will be providing vehicles, and for this combo, specifically with the Shortfuse gadget plates, I recommend a power vehicle personally, but handling vehicles are not bad, and you can use any of these builds with whatever vehicle type you want, but for this one specifically, go with a power handling vehicle, primarily maybe a power vehicle, because of the slipstream stuff and how slipstream works with power vehicles. Anyways, let's move on to the Eager specific gadget build, which is going to be a boost tuner set. So this gadget set's actually going to be a kind of mixed versatile set. I'm not really good with the E-gears, but I'm assuming this wouldn't be a terrible gadget set. Now we have Whisk Chance Up, which allows you to bag if you fall behind, which you might fall behind pretty heavily due to all the item chaos. We have 130 rings, so that way even if you get hit, you're not going to go below 80 rings, thankfully, which is 1 hit. You have Boost Tuner, which gives you 86 boost if you're using characters like Eggman and Miku, or if you're using like Knuckles or Werehog, you're getting like 85, which is really nice. Like that boost compounds with the level 2 and level 3 quick charge, and then Slipstream Bounty just for a very consistent ring generation. I don't know how good this build's going to do. I don't have a lot to talk about when it comes to this. Just use this with an E-gear and test it out for yourself. But I think this could work really well, and you could probably derive this build into some other much better builds. Again, I am very, very new to E-gear building, so I have no idea how good this build truly is, but I've heard some talks about it, and I know a couple people have been talking about maybe Boost Tuner could work with E-gear during round 2. That's up for you guys to decide when you guys play the build. I have just no good knowledge for this, so I am very sorry if this build sucks, and if it does, just let me know in the comments. I will call myself out as well on it. Anyways, let's go on to some ring game boost builds. Unfortunately, with round 2 of Legend Comp, ring game boost builds have suffered tremendously. Now, here's the big thing. Thankfully, level 2 and level 3 quick charge still exist, and this allows you to play a very small scale version of what Snake Stream is. And if you don't know what Snake Stream is, I'm just going to do a quick summary of it. Snake Stream is basically a build that I've come up with that takes level 2 and level 3 quick charge, throw it on a vehicle, and you're able to use ring game boost, and you basically mesh the best parts of ring game boost and level 2, level 3 quick charge to make a very fun, very versatile build. Now, with Legend Comp round 2, everything is going to be be one-slot gadgets, so we have to make these builds very, very unique, and they're very hard to make with everything compounding on each other. Now, these builds are going to be a little harder to judge right now. I've been playing some online with one-slot gadget builds, and that's what the background footage is right now. So I really do recommend, if you're going to play any of these builds up here, I would recommend doing one of the Whisk Chance Up builds, primarily the Whisk Chance Up, Ring Game Boost Mini, Dash Panel Mini, Level 2, Level 3 Quick Charge, and Slipstream Bounty. This build is very versatile. If you get sent back behind and you have to bag for items, Whisk Chance Up always gives you a much higher chance of getting Drill and Laser, which is always really nice. If you're closer to the front, like second or third place, you have a much higher chance of getting a single Whisk, which is really nice. And in those positions, you also have a really good chance of getting defensive items. So it makes it for a very versatile build. Now for the other builds, you have maximum ring generation on the top right build. In the middle build, you have a more defensive variant of the ring generation build on the right with 130 rings, so if you take damage, it's alright. And then we have on the left, it's going to be a more full defense variant where you have Whisk Chance Up and you have 130 ring to benefit if you take too much damage or you take hits early, you're able to still keep a good amount of rings and you're able to bag for Whisk early on, especially on lap 2. When you get in lap 2 and you take a hit purposely, it's perfectly fine to go take a, like, if you're able to get to the front, pick the CrossWorld, and then take a hit right before you go into lap 2, it is perfectly fine. It's very good for these type of builds because you have a lot of ring generation and a lot of ways to make a comeback. But anyways, there's not a lot of really good things about the ring game boost builds for round 2. Unfortunately, they're going to be very weak in comparison to some of the other stuff unless you compound everything with level 2 and level 3 quick charge plus slipstream bounty. If you plan on taking level 2 and level 3 quick charge out, I'm going to be honest, you might as well commit to a different build because ring game boost on its own for right now with round 2 of Legend Comp, it is not going to be good enough to sustain the chaos that is round 2. I promise you, like, do not full commit into ring game boost on its own. You have to compound this, otherwise you are going to lose. Like, you may win some matches, but 99 times out of 100, you are probably going to consistently have issues with no level 2, level 3 quick charge, unfortunately. Now, I wish I could say the same. Like, you could try some very unique builds that derive the defensive capabilities of one of these builds, or maybe the front run early on, or the bagging capability. Like, you could derive from these builds. I just recommend if you are going to run mini ring game boost, you have to make sure you're running level 2, level 3 quick charge, and you have to do some snaking because you are not going to make it just by ring game boost mini alone. It is just not strong enough at all, especially when you're going to be seeing handling vehicles that go about 1 to 2% faster on drifts. They have a much higher boost stat as well compared to most vehicles, and in general, because they can handle better, they can take corners a lot easier. So you got to be very, very good. You have to be on your game. Lines have to be great if you want to make these builds work, especially if you're going to run a power vehicle. You can run these builds in a handling vehicle, you run them in a speed vehicle. Just make sure you know what you're doing. If you run them in not a handling vehicle, like let's say you run this into power or speed vehicle, you will have more power and you will beat a handling in vehicles and E-gears in bump wars. So there's potential for throwing mini ring thief in one of these builds. There's potential for throwing Shortfuse to really throw handling and E-gears off their game, and so many other things. I'm not going to go over everything because there's just way too many things to go over. That's going to be for you guys to decide, but these are just some build ideas that you can run for round 2. I think all of these have some potential. I do think mini ring game boost is pretty weak, but I think the best case scenario is running mini ring game boost, dash panel mini, level 2, level 3 quick turn, slipstream bounty, and Whisk Chance Up. I think that's going to give you the most versatility and the most potential to win on a consistent basis for round 2. As for the final build here, guys, I'm providing a kind of bagging build that's going to be using Dark Child Starter, Whisk Chance Up, Extended Slipstream, level 2, level 3 quick charge, and Slipstream Bounty. Now, you might be wondering, Distella, you hate Extended Slipstream. Why are you putting this here? You are trolling. Well, here's the thing. Extended Slipstream, there's a very specific situation where it's actually really beneficial on a gadget plate, and this is actually one of those times I feel like Extended Slipstream actually can matter, and this is because Extended Slipstream actually allows you to slip off of people a lot easier when you're in the back. Now, granted, you are bagging with this setup for the most part. I feel like you could just slot in mini ring game boost and it actually is better, but if you don't want to use mini ring game boost and you'd rather use the Extended Slipstream's bigger width of slipstreaming off of people to your advantage to dodge, say, some items being thrown at you, or you want to dodge tornadoes or things of that nature, I would say this is not actually a bad time to slot it in. Now, granted, this build does have a lot of versatility for getting back up to the front due to level 2, level 3 quick charge, and slipstream bounty with extended, so there's a lot of potential. You could, again, you could slot ring game boost mini in here and just, it'll be a Dark Child plate with ring game boost mini, slipstream bounty, level 2, level 3 quick charge, and Whisk Chance Up. So you could do that as well, but I feel like this build could find success even if you don't run Dark Child Starter and you run something else like ring game boost mini. You really want to throw it there instead. You could use this as a plate that's primarily meant for if you get hit 30, 40, 50 times, you're still getting really good items at the end. I think this build is very weird, to say the least. Like, I came up with this really quickly, but I think this build is like kind of meh, if you want my honest opinion. I feel like you're gonna have way more success with compounding ring game boost mini with ring generation and level 2, level 3 quick charge with Whisk Chance Up.
I feel like something like that's going to be way better than this build. But I mean, hey, if you like Dark Shadow Starter and you want to try something out, go right ahead and try this build out. It could be very nice, but I don't think this build is going to be that good, genuinely. Like, I think it's too finicky to work properly, but I do think there is some potential with it. Again, it's 1-slot gadgets for round 2. I did bag in round 1, so I do kind of know what it's like to use Dark Shadow Starter bagging setups. I believe this build without Ring Game Boost 2 is going to be a lot worse than it looks, but again, it could be way better than I know, and I just am overthinking it for round 2. As for the vehicle type you should use, you can kind of use anything with this build. Like, you use acceleration, you use speed, you use handling, you can use E-gear, you can use power. Everything is on the table for this build. Now, granted, it is kind of weird, but I think there is some potential with it. Now, as for my closing thoughts on round 2 Legend Comp, I am extremely excited, like beyond excited. I don't know how to explain it any more than that. Like, I have so many builds I want to go through. I have builds for each vehicle class except for E-gears, so I'm very excited to try them out. I cannot wait for round 2 to start. Now, I think the hardest part about round 2 really will just be getting used to the fact that the power level is going to be a lot lower than just round 1 in general and a world match in general. Like, we are playing without some of the best gadgets in the game. We do still have level 2, level 3 quick charge and slipstream bounty, which are all really, really good 1-slots. But other than that, a lot of these other gadgets are actually very comparatively weak to the 2 and 3 slots. Well, obviously they are, but it's going to be a lot more interesting because again, power level is going to be a lot lower. What makes extreme gears really good might actually cause them to, or will be their downfall because they don't have the gadgets that make them super good. Now, again, boost tuners are still on the table, level 2, level 3 quick charge is still on the table, and I guarantee you they could probably do some kind of ring game boost mini plus like slipstream bounty setup that gives them more speed. Even if they're marginally faster, that marginal amount of speed can be the make or break point for the race. I think right now, if I had to guess what vehicles would be the best in order, I actually would say, in my opinion, I think it goes handling, power, E-gear, speed, acceleration, potentially. Now, I think they can be jumbled around, but I think handling vehicles will be the best one for round 2 of Legend Comp, but again, I don't know for sure what we're going to see. I'm going to be primarily representing power vehicles like I always have been, but you will see me run handling and speed vehicles as well because I really want to use them, and I've had a lot of fun with them recently again. So, we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, that's it for this round 2 build theory video. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or you have any thoughts about the builds I provided or anything like that, please comment down below. I am more than happy to talk with you guys. Finally, all I can say is when you're playing round 2 at Legend Comp, have a very, very lax mindset. You need to be genuinely, you need to be relaxed. If you are at any point gonna get tilted because of round 2, I recommend just take a break, go play world match. Like, genuinely, round 2 is not worth the mental struggle, and it is a mental game for round 2. It's gonna be a lot of chaos, a lot of item spam. It's gonna be everything. Like, if you want to win round 2 and you want to get to Emerald, make sure you are mentally in a good spot whenever you play, and always take a breather when you need it. Do not overexert yourself because you will lose points just by being tilted. Other than that, guys, I got nothing else for you. Have yourselves a great one. I wish you the best of luck in round 2, and I will be streaming the literal minute round 2 Legend Comp starts